Howdy. Howdy, howdy. Is that too bright? Let me see. I think you're just going to have to survive. It's a beautiful, beautiful day out, and I don't want to ruin it by locking myself in my house. So, today, we have a bunch of stuff. We have ground beef, family pack. I've got eggs and bone marrow. Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I had a very important phone call I couldn't put off. So, where were we? Yeah, beef, eggs, marrow. We're just gonna put it all together. You guys ready? I was debating if I wanted to put it all in a bowl. It ends up looking like dog food, but it's so good. Or if I want to just make a little bit more of a mess with not that. And I still haven't decided. I think where I'm going to start is just getting the marrow out of the bones. So sometimes when you buy marrow bones, they'll be cut like this. They'll look like dog bones, basically. And with these, you just push the marrow out of the center of the bone. Boom, like that. Just like a little plug of marrow. You keep the bones and use them for soup if you want. I don't cook any of the food in my house. And soup, like bone broths, don't work well for me because they're high in histamines. But if you don't have an issue with histamines, homemade bone broth is amazing. And sometimes you buy them, they'll be cut lengthwise. And in that case, you can just scoop it out with a spoon or a knife. A knife works really good. Either or. They had both at Frazier Farms, but when I buy them, what I look for, here, this might actually be more helpful rather than information on how they're cut. When I buy them, what I look for is I want marrow that is true marrow and isn't starting to turn into bone, because you'll find some marrow is cut and along the edges or even all the way through the center of it, it might be covered in filaments of bone. And what I mean by it is like almost like little slivers of bone will crisscross through, because the body, I mean, think about it, a bone isn't just hollow from end to end. At each end you have a cap of bone, right? Solid, and then the marrow runs through the middle. And so it'll gradually build into that bone, and there'll be this crisscrossing of little filaments of bone through the marrow as it gets closer to the end of the bone. Anyways, I probably totally just jumbled that and made it really confusing, but when you buy it and you look at it, you'll just pay really close attention and you'll see what I mean. And I don't know, there's not really, for this purpose of I just want marrow, I want the fatty goodness, there's no reason to buy marrow bones that have a whole bunch of that crisscrossing bone and calcium. So that's what I pay attention to when I buy them. Also, if I can, because it's usually sold by the weight, the bones are useless to me, and Dora's not going to eat them because she doesn't have any teeth, or she doesn't have enough teeth to chomp on these. I want the thinnest bone, so I don't want to buy something that's just a teeny tiny little bit of marrow and then a great big thick bone, because I'm just paying for something that I can't use that way. So that's my little tip with marrow. And then look at these little plugs. Oh, you can't see because of the light. I'm so sorry, you guys. Totally not a professional over here. I'm going to fight against that for as long as possible. You guys aren't allowed to have a professionally produced and shot video. I'm sorry. And using editing software, you're just shit out of luck. Sorry. Okay, eggs. These are not the healthiest eggs. These aren't the unhealthiest eggs either, but they're cage-free, free-range, blah, 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 but they're fed a vegetarian diet with probably corn and soy. It happens. The pack I ate yesterday were corn and soy free. I did not have the option for buying such eggs at this store today. So this is what we've got, and this is what we're going to do with it is... Am I going to put it in the bowl? I'm so undecided. Usually I'm much more deciding than this. I'm sorry, you guys. Now you know how it feels to be my best friend, because this is the type of exchange I have with her all the time. So I am just going to tell you how unorganized and chaotic my life is. Welcome to the sideshow. Yeah, I have not figured out a good use for egg whites. Usually every time I eat eggs on here, somebody will ask me in the comments, what do I do with the egg whites? Dora throws them up, so I can't feed them to her. They don't digest well for me when I eat them raw, which is why I don't eat the whole thing. Raw egg white supposedly interferes with biotin, or not supposedly, but actually, factually, interferes with biotin absorption in the body. So generally people say never to eat raw egg whites because it'll mess up your protein absorption. Part of me is like wondering, well, maybe we're not supposed to absorb all of the protein in the whole egg. So maybe that's just actually a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of bodybuilders that are just out there guzzling down whole raw eggs and don't seem to have a problem. So I'm on the fence about whether the biotin issue is actually an issue. I don't think we've had that answered by anybody yet. A lot of opinions on it, but no definitive yet. I was hoping that they would have some caviar at the store today that I like. They did not. Sometimes we can't always have exactly what we want, and that's okay. Otherwise, it's been a really productive day, you guys. I got up at dawn. I've been making a real effort to do that every day because I'm trying to fix my circadian rhythm. And we went to Planet Fitness. Went to they've got these red light booths there. So got some red light therapy first thing this morning to wake up with. And then sat in their hydro massage chairs for a bit. Then boogied over to LA Fitness because that's my gym of preference, whatever. Plus that's where I know everybody. I don't really socialize with people at Planet Fitness because they don't seem to be very sociable. I don't know. So I got in just a quick cardio workout. I'm kind of giving myself permission this last week of the year to skate by with very little effort at the gym. So we just did 30 minutes of cardio. Super, super easy peasy. Walked on a steep incline on the treadmill, stretched it out, laid in the sauna for a good while, and then immediately jumped in and took an ice cold shower for about 15 minutes. Oh, it feels so good. I love my cold showers. I don't have a setup to do cold plunge. Obviously, I'm not going to put a cold plunge tub in my ambulance. I can't even be persuaded to put a toilet in here or a shower. So let's see, how many do I want? That's 9. Yeah, we're going to do a dozen. Yeah, we'll just commit to it. We'll do a dozen. It was my 200th workout of the year today, which is pretty freaking awesome. I use this little app called Heavy to track all my workouts. What I like about it is you can create your own custom pre-saved workout routines. And it's also got some social options, so you can follow people and like and comment on their workouts. You can share your routines with other people too. I've tried a couple other workout tracking apps and they didn't have those options. They might have some other features, but they were missing those, and they seemed kind of essential. They also offer a lifetime. I have the paid plan, but their free one is just as efficient. The free one is really great. The paid one, they offer a lifetime one-time fee, so you don't have to pay on subscription. I hate subscriptions. I say that deep down from the bottom of my heart. I work for a company where we sell subscription software. And I love the company I work for, but I still hate subscriptions. Nobody can ever convince me otherwise that against that. All right, so we've got, I'll dispose of this later. My little, see, I used a little dog poop bag as my cup liner just to keep things thrifty. All right, eggs can go back in the fridge. I don't think egg whites are particularly useful for like beauty purposes either. They're very drying. My face is already dry enough on its own, just living in an arid climate. I don't need to add to that. Okay, we've got our eggs in the bowl. You saw that, right? Good. Now let's put our beef in the bowl. I'm not going to put all of it because I'm going to save a little bit for Dora. Yeah, you don't get it yet, but you'll get it in a little bit. God, this smells so good. This is my favorite ground beef blend of all times. Oh my goodness, it fell on the counter. I'm going to die of a bacterial infection, everybody. Look out. Seriously, the fear-mongering around bacteria in food and the total misunderstanding of how the human body works, stomach acid and all that, boggles my mind some days. I mean, I get it because nobody teaches us these things. We just learn from rote memory. But I think that's enough. How much do I want to give Dora? You have to wait, Mama. Okay, we've got our beef in the bowl. Now, what sea salt do I want? I think I'm just gonna go with, gosh, I don't know. This stuff was really good though. This is stuff my friend John got me for Christmas. It's like lava or something. Red lava, oleo, red. It's something. It's some sort of red salt. Okay, that's the technical term. Some sort of red salt. If you ask me where to get it, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm absolutely useless today. Alright. This literally just ends up looking like dog food. So, if you were hoping for a really beautiful meal ensemble, I'm so sorry. You're gonna be disappointed. Yeah, I try not to over stir it. The egg yolks get kind of weird when you, I guess, well, yeah, like be oxidized. It's like when you whip cream. Whipped cream has a very different aura about it. The flavor, the smell, the texture, everything kind of changes with oxidation. Same thing seems to happen to egg yolks in my experience. So I try not to overwork them too much. Just gently fold them in. And then we've got our marrow that we just eat raw. I am surprisingly not a huge fan of cooked bone marrow because it's too rich. It's too, like, immediately my body's like, whoa, oh my God, too much fat, too greasy, too much. Whereas raw, I could just eat it all day, just gobs of it. That sounds really good. I wish bone marrow wasn't so expensive. Anyways, this is my meal. I'm gonna eat in privacy because there's this video I really want to watch, but it's 3 hours long that my bestie sent me, and I've sent her a couple of videos to watch, and she has been a much better friend than I have and has watched every single one of them promptly. And I committed to watching this one several weeks ago and never got around to it. So I'm going to stop being that kind of asshole and I'm going to watch it so I can tell her all about it. Anyways, here's our delicious dog food lunch here. Proof that I eat it. You don't even know. It tastes so good. This is one of my favorite meals. It looks horrendous, but even my boyfriend, he'll be like, did you make enough I can have some? Or when are you going to make that again? And he's not a carnivore. He's not a raw carnivore. He's not a carnivore of any kind. I mean, he eats a lot of meat when I'm around. But when I'm not around, he eats a lot of Pop-Tarts and takeout and hot dogs and croissants and a whole lot of non-carnivore foods. So that he gets really delighted about this tells me that it's actually really tasty. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Ciao. I figured it wouldn't be the same not to show Miss Dora enjoying her lunch. Oh, Mama. Yeah. I feel really short today. Okay. Whatever. I am short. Eat it, Mama. It was nice enough out today that she got to go for a walk all naked. No jammies. She looks especially Muppet-like when she's naked. Oh, that noise just cracks me up every single time. Okay, wait, ready? Take your time with it. Got like little wormies coming off the sides here. Not literal. That was not literal. There are not worms in this meat. Just the shape of the ground beef makes me think of worms. And how I can think about worms when eating ground beef raw and not get grossed out. What can I say? I'm that girl. I was always the one in school that when the boys would find a creepy crawly, they'd come up thinking that they were going to gross me out with it. And I'd be like, oh, that's really cool. Can I hold it? Let's go scare the girls with it. That was me. Yeah. Especially snakes. I loved it when I found snakes or salamanders or anything like that. They're just cool. Aren't they, Mama? You feel better now? Feel happy? I don't know. She seems pretty satisfied. Ciao.